Hi guys, my name is Sachin Mishra and once again welcome back to my channel. Before starting up, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe, like and share. Please watch the video till end. I will show you a different technique to create trippy animation in After Effects. Let's first gather the resources for the trippy animation. The main two websites I use to download resources are pixels.com and unsplash.com. As you can see, you also have different categories, and if you want to find a certain thing, you can also search right here. The main reason why I use these websites is because first of all the pictures are free. You can use them for any project like client work or personal work. Also, the pictures have really good quality and the size is really big. If you like to find our abstract textures, you have also the category right here, but we can just search here like abstract, and now we get a lot of results. I will look through them, and basically I am looking for a picture with wavy shapes and a lot of colors. And the reason behind that is because this is the style we are trying to create, the trippy style. One of its characteristics is the shapes are wavy, kind of liquid. It has lots of colors. Let's download some of them. We will use them in Photoshop to edit. I'm always looking for these wavy, colorful textures, but even if you don't find something like that, you can always make it. We can always make it wavy and colorful in Photoshop. The next resource we need is a picture of a face. I'm using mine. I think it is easier to get a picture looking forward. That's it for the resources part. We are ready to start creating. I will show you how to manipulate those textures to convert them into something trippy and how to create them from scratch. So we'll have a huge variety of textures to apply onto your designs. Let's start with Photoshop to prepare the textures and make them look very trippy. I will show you different tools and adjustment layers to get the effect we like. For this project, I will create an HD resolution with 1920 and height 1080 and the resolution 72 because I'm not going to print anything. Let's import the abstract texture file which we downloaded. Let's copy it and paste it here in the new document. Now the texture itself is much bigger than the document that we created. I will zoom out a little, and now I'm going to click Ctrl T key from the keyboard to rotate it, and I'm going to hold Shift and Alt, and I'm going to scale it to keep the ratio. So I'm trying to adjust it to our document. Let's click Enter. Let's go to the plus sign to zoom in. First I will show you the adjustment layers. To use them, you can go down here on this round icon, click on it, and you can see all the adjustment layers like brightness, contrast, levels, curves, hue saturation, color balance, and so on. The first thing I will show you are the curves. I'm going to click on it. As you can see, this tab pops up. We can see this diagonal line. If we click on this diagonal line, we can create this kind of square like a point. Let's drag it. It affects the picture. The more we play around with this, the more it affects the picture. In this case, we don't have a formula. So the first one is RGB, then red, green and blue. The main purpose here is to get those iridescent colors. From my experience, I have noticed that when you create some wavy graphs, we get iridescent colors. This is why I click on a point and I drag it down. Then click on another point and drag it up. And immediately we get this iridescent texture. I see how it affects the picture and play around with it and see what colors I like. If you are using another texture, you will get different effects. Let's go to the red graph right now and I will play around with it too. But I will say the RGB one is the most important one to get those iridescent colors. Okay, Now we'll go to the green, just playing around with these to see what colors I get. Let's go to the last one, blue. That's it for the curves. Now we can see hue, saturation and lightness. Usually I play around with saturation and hue to see what kind of colors I get. Depending on the colors that you like, you can play around with this and decide which one do you like more. I will go with these colors. I want this whole image to be as one layer. To do that, I will select the whole thing and go to edit, but not copy, but copy merge. It means that it copies everything from the layers, not just the layer that is selected. So let's go to copy merge and go to edit, paste. You will see that a new layer is created. We can see that we have all the effects. They have the edited texture as one layer. Now I will show you that filter. Let's zoom in so you can see better. I will go to filter and then stylize and use the oil paint. You can immediately see the changes. Check and uncheck the preview. See how it looks. Right here you have these options, the brush options, and you have these labels that you can change. Usually what I do is put this to 0, put this to a maximum to 10 and see how it affects the picture. I did the same thing with all these other options. I decided that I liked it when they are all 10. Again, this is subjective. Maybe you don't like it with a stylization 10. You can put it to 3 and see more wavy shapes. If I put it to 10, these shapes are smoother. There's also this lighting option. You can increase the shine and it gives that 3D texture that I don't really like. But if you like it, you can check it and use it, because these are the textures we will animate in After Effects. They are abstract textures. It's not a problem if they are with this 3D effect or not. The most important thing is that it is abstract and it has a lot of colors. For me, I will uncheck it and click OK. Now let's create a new document. Usually I go with this kind of ratio for width and height, 4000 by 5000 for the posters or artworks. So let's click create. Now import the face image. Let's copy it and paste it here in the new document. Adjust the image to fit it into the document size. We will use the select subject option to remove the background. We just need the face. Now I am going to select and then drop down to subject. It will automatically select the face. Very helpful tool in Photoshop to remove backgrounds. And now just click Ctrl C, Ctrl V. It looks good. So first of all, I will work with the adjustment layers. So let's start with brightness and contrast. And I'm going to use the clipping mask, so it applies only on the layer below. I will increase the contrast, decrease the brightness a little bit. The most important adjustment layer in this case is the curves. Just try to make it colorful, although it is grey. Again, remember what I said for the textures. To make them colorful, you need to create this wavy graph from the RGB option. Let's go to the red, green and blue. See what we can do, the green one and the last one, the blue one. I'm going to also apply the hue saturation. Okay, I will leave it as it is. So we can have a transparent background, then select everything. Go to copy merge. Let's just paste it. Now I can uncheck the layers below Now I want to fix that pixelage problem. If we zoom in, it doesn't look really good. To fix that, again, I'm going to use the oil paint effect. You can play around with the stylization, but I like it as it is. So I'm going to just click OK. Now I'm going to the hue saturation adjustment. Again, layer, create clipping mask, and I will decrease the saturation and also the lightness. So we make it dark. Now we have two pictures. This one that we are going to need for this kind of animation. Now save both the images we have created. Face image as PNG file. And texture image as JPG file. Let's begin animating the texture first in After Effects that we have prepared in Photoshop. We are going to open After Effects. Let's create a new composition. We need to choose width and height, the same size as textures. This is why I am choosing this 1920 by 1080. The frame rate should be 25. It is like standard frame rate for mostly all the videos. Let's make the duration 6 seconds. You can make it longer if you want, but I think 6 seconds is enough for what we will do. So first of all, on the project panel, we put all our resources. For example, I'm going to drag here all the textures we create in Photoshop. When we apply a certain effect to a texture, the effect controls shows right here. So we can make some changes on the effects. We can make some tweaks. You will understand better when you see all the effects I'm going to apply. Now let's bring the texture here in composition by dragging it. Let's add the effect that distorts the texture. So we will search for another effect. In Effects, Distort, and choose Liquify. It's an effect we use also in Photoshop, but the difference here is that we can animate it in After Effects. You have the effect right here, tools, warp tool options, brush size, pressure like it was in Photoshop, distortion options, distortion mesh offset, and distortion percentage. So first we have the tools. They are the same as in Photoshop. You have the first tool, which is forward warp tool. As far as I remember from Photoshop, you have this one that creates some wavy shapes. And the third one is the twill clockwise tool. And the other tools are for different purposes. So we don't need them to create some distortion effects. So we will just need this first tool, and brush size and brush pressure. The brush obviously is the size of the circle. I can increase it. And the brush pressure, if I increase it, we can get a more visible effect of the liquify. If we just click and drag, we'll get a distorted texture, but not animated. To animate it, we click on these distortion options, all three of them, and we can leave the distortion percentage 100. We are on the first frame. We can go to the last. Now I applied the liquify effect. We can go back and click play to see how it looks. It takes some time to load. Now we will see how it looks in the real speed. And we can see the transition from the normal texture to the texture where we have applied the liquify effect. In this case, I will show you another effect. It's not about distorting it. It is about the colors. It is called Colorama. It's under the color correction group. And I will just click and drag it to the texture. We can see the colors immediately change. We can see all the options of the effect. Basically, to change the colors, we just need to play around with this output cycle. So we go to this arrow and you can see that the colors change. Because of this output cycle, with all these colors, you have also some presets here. You can change it to RGB and you will see the colors change here. Because the colors on this output cycle change, I can choose different presets. What I usually do is just go with this hue cycle and change the colors here manually. For example, I can go to this red triangle, double click on it and change the color to something that I like. I can go to this pink color, I can make it lighter, click OK, and this way I can change all the colors. I am going to change this green color. In this case, this is subjective, so you can pick the colors you like. Now what you can do is change the position of the triangles if you want. So you can click on this triangle and change the position of it. But first I will go somewhere right here in the middle of the timeline, so we can see the distorted texture and decide about the colors. Although we have 6 colors right here, we can just see the blue colors, the light blue, dark blue and the purple color. To fix that, we can work with this cycle repetitions, and then we can also change the position of these triangles. The more we increase it, the more colors we see, and this gets more trippy. So based on what we like, we can decide about the cycle repetitions. So let's make it 1 first, and now I will animate it by just clicking on this icon. Let's go to the last frame. I'm going to increase it. I think 10 is okay. Now if you want, you can always change the position of the triangles. See how it affects the picture. You get this different combination of colors, but personally I like it as it is. I won't change anything on it. I will go back to the first frame and I can click play to see the animation. It takes some time to load. Okay, now we can see how it looks in the real speed, and we get this colorful, trippy animation that I really like. Now let's render the texture animation first. This is how we can animate the textures we already have in After Effects. Now we will go to After Effects again to work on our trippy face animation. Let's import the textured face which we already made in Photoshop. We will create a composition based on the size of the face image. What we are going to do is put one of the textures inside the shapes of the sunglasses, inside these circles, and then use the liquify tool to animate them. Let's go with this one and put it in the center, and as you can see, it is on the top of the previous layers. So I'm going to scale it down so it matches the size of the sunglasses. I will type S on the keyboard and I'm going to scale it down. I'm going to decrease the opacity so we can see the sunglasses too. I will click on the layer and type T on the keyboard, and this is the shortcut for opacity. Now as I said, I want the texture to be inside these circle shapes of the sunglasses. To do what, we need to use pen tool. We use it also in Photoshop to select certain objects or cut certain shapes. We are going to use it for the same function in After Effects. I will show you how it works. First, make sure to select the layer where you are going to apply the mask. So let's click on a point. Now we have the mask option. The mask represents the shape we are going to create. Again, the pen tool works the same way as it worked in Photoshop. So we'll just click and drag to create a curve. Do the same thing until you close the path. And now I will just try to create a shape of the sunglasses. So this circle shape, again I will just click and drag. It doesn't have to be perfect, just try to do the best that you can. Let's try to close the path. Now I will just type T to get the opacity and I will increase it. Let's click play to see the animation. Now we got this animated texture inside the sunglasses. We need to distort them by using the Liquify tool. I will go to Effects and Presets and search for Liquify. Let's just drag it and put it on the texture layer. Again, we need to select all these three distortion options and make sure we are on the first frame. Add a keyframe on the first frame first. Now let's go to the last frame and we can go to the warp tool options where we have the brush size and the brush pressure. I'm going to increase the brush pressure to 100%. We can drag this faster, and the brush size, I will just try to get something that matches with the size of the sunglasses shape. On the tools option, we just need to use the forward warp tool. We used it in Photoshop too and also in After Effects before. The process is just click and drag like that. I will just click and drag and we will see in the end that this will be animated. Okay, so now that I did the distortion, I will just go back to the first frame and click play. This will take some time to load because of the Liquify tool. I will just click play and see. Okay, so this is how the Liquify tool looks like. If you want, you can make this longer or distort it differently. But this is how the effect works. Now, I will also show you how to create a nice background for this animation. So I will go to the project section. I will just drag texture animation in here so it matches with the width of the composition. I will drag this layer below so we have it as a background. I will go to Effects and Presets and let's search for CC Starburst. I will just click and drag on the animated texture layer and immediately you will see this is converted into stars. And if we click play, you will see how it is animated. Let's just uncheck the layers above so we can focus only on background. This is what we get if I click play. On the effect controls, we have some options and we'll play around with them. I will show you what each of them does. First, we have scatter. If we increase it, it increases distance between the stars. You can see that we get less stars. And I'm going to increase it because I want to get something dark. I don't want to get too many stars or these circle shapes. Also we have the speed. If we increase the speed, stars will get faster towards us. As you can see, I would suggest to put the speed to 0 and I'm going to show you why. If you click play, you can see that nothing happens besides color changing because of the texture. But we can decide about the animation of the stars by choosing phase angle of the face or changing the phase angle of it. You can see what it does by changing the phase angle. As you can see, it animates the position of the stars. Let's undo that. I will suggest you to go with this because you can create a loop by animating the stars from this option. We can click on it, go to the end, and we can make a full cycle. Let's say if we get a loop, you can see that we get a loop in terms of the position of the stars. These are the options for the stars. CC Starburst. We can get something nice by playing around with this. I can increase the scatter a little bit more. Now we can put them both and see how the animation looks like. We have reached the end of this course. I hope this journey of trippy animations has been as much fun for you as it's been for me. You may add music and final touches to your projects and post them online. I can't wait to see your creations. please share them in the comments below. I will check them out as soon as I can. Thank you so much. I will see you soon. Bye.